Thackeray is currently the MLA from Worli in Maharashtra. He was the former Tourism Environment Minister in Maharashtra and a leader of the Shiv Sena. Of course, the Shiv Sena now is the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray faction that we are talking about, the part of the Shiv Sena that got split. But he's somebody who's passionate about a lot of things, including photography, poetry. Also, of course, he's a young poet. He was barely 17, 18.
I call myself a former poet now. Former poet, former minister, and a former photographer.
No, I think all the creative arts are something that stays on with you. It's just a matter of when you find time to do it next again. Also, Aditya has been nominated as a young global leader for the class of 2023 by the World Economic Forum. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Aditya. So good to have you.
Thank you, likewise. Although I just saw change makers on the thing next to me. I was just thinking that 6 months ago we were changed. So I don't know if we were change makers or facing the brunt of change, but yeah.
I'll come to the political part of it in just a bit, and I'm sure there are a whole lot of students here from Geetam University as well as the Kautilya School of Public Policy that I'm hoping will ask you the tougher questions. I'll be a little gentle today, maybe, not wearing
I can already see your questions from here, so.
That's very good eyesight, by the way. Aditya, let me start by asking you, how do you find the air in Hyderabad? Is it fresh compared to, I know it's hot, but compared to Mumbai currently, where the pollution levels are being talked about more than the pollution levels in Delhi?
I think, obviously, pollution in Mumbai is really high right now. And if you see what's happening with the amount of construction that's going on, with the amount of, chaos that's going on, pollution in terms of environment, pollution in terms of politics is really high in our city, in our state right now. Coming here was a beautiful change because a lot of things were clear. I also visited this fantastic place called the Tea Hub. It's quite nice, and to see this new changing face of India, to see a different political mindset going beyond just divisions of people, politics of hate, I think that's a good thing. So coming here was a very refreshing change.
You said you went to Tea Hub, of course. Do you see technology, manufacturing become the new identities of India moving forward? Or do you see a lot of hurdles?
I think the fact that we have a platform for that is very important. Every year when you open the Time magazine, at the end of the year, you have the 10 best innovations or the newest innovations, and you see that all of them are from universities and schools across the world. Where we were falling behind as a country is most of our innovations did not happen in our schools, in our colleges, did not happen on our campuses, only because we did not have the scope or the syllabus or the power to question things. We had set notions and we were going about with that. The fact that governments are now providing platforms to ask questions, to innovate, to ideate, to find solutions, trusting students to do so, I think that is very crucial. Trusting younger people to do so, to bring change, I think that is beautiful. That is really encouraging for us.
There are a lot of young students here who are actually into science, innovation, into technology, because that's some of the key areas for focus for Geetam. But coming back to your college days, the Mumbai that you grew up in, the Mumbai that you see today.
It wasn't too far back.
It's still very in the recent days itself.
It's sounding like 20 years ago. It's not.
No, that would be my time reference and beyond that. But, for you, how was what are some of the best memories in college that you have?
Depends on whether it was on the good side or the bad side, not on the blacklist. But I mean, of course, the fact that all of us, used to sort of go out to music. I did history majors. Of course, I had English and, history as my thing, but I did my history majors and go out to different museums, again, see the wonders of India, see different sites of history, archaeology. Going out there on site was very, very nice. Interacting with students as friends, being in the same canteen. Now you see, as when you go to colleges, you try to be cool and you go and try to have food with them. But being a part of that environment is really nice. And of course, going about doing the things that we normally do. That's always, as students, you sort of end up sitting in different classes. You end up bunking classes. All of that goes on happening. But the fact that, again, like I said, the library, these are places where you really now miss. Looking back, you're like, I should have spent more time there. That is a wealth of knowledge that you sort of end up missing. And I think these are college days that all of us enjoy doing, the good things and the bad things that every student does. It goes on. Life goes on.
But was it really a sort of a normal time that you were spending, keeping in mind that you also belong to a family with a huge political clout in a state like Maharashtra? Was it something that would change,
No,
or
absolutely. Normal time. And nothing has changed from then to now. I remain as I am. Even while coming here, there was a thought process where whether I should be wearing formal clothes and coming as, someone who's going to be interviewed. I was like, no, I'm just going to be myself. If you look at the way I have been as a minister, before being a minister, after remaining a minister, it's remained the same. And I think that is very, very important. One thing my father's always told me that posts, positions of power, they keep coming and going, they keep coming again. But what you are is what you remain to the people, and that's what you should be, anchored to the ground. And that's very important. And normally people think that once you become politicians, once you become ministers or CEOs or bankers, you should stop visiting restaurants or cafes or theaters or malls. And that's where you disconnect. If you've got to remain on ground and get a pulse of what people are thinking about you and what you need to improve, you've got to remain as who you were, feel the traffic, feel the problems on a footpath that the common man feels, and that's only when you can find a solution.
did you actually take the Mumbai local?
I have.
You have.
Yeah.
And it's an experience that changes everybody.
I think it's a different experience. Mumbai local is a different experience altogether. Everyone who goes onto it remembers it forever. But yeah, I think it's very normal, and my childhood has been normal. My mother has always told our principal that please treat the kids as normal kids. Punish them if they're wrong. I wasn't the bad child to be punished ever, but yeah.
You also studied law, actually. How many of you here in the room, the moment you think of a neta, a politician, you actually imagine somebody in a white pajama, kurta, in a certain sort of a dressed way? Okay, so it's actually not too many people in the room, because we have these ongoing debates now of somebody's carrying a expensive purse, somebody's wearing a Burberry, somebody's going to a restaurant. Who's then do you think the younger generation is away from these debates?
I think it's also very crucial of what debates we engage in. Look at the debates engaged in our country today. It's religion versus religion. It's region versus region. It's everything apart from the core issues. Are we debating unemployment? Are we debating inflation? Are we debating the problems all of us face as citizens today? We're not. We engage in debates which are not too relevant to our times. We're not debating the right things. We are fighting for something that's happened over 50 or 60 years ago. We're fighting over personalities that have lived in our country 100 years ago. We're fighting over whether some king or emperor back then has done the right thing or not. But we're not fighting for a future even today. And people who, our future generations will think, okay, you fought for people who lived 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago. Have you fought for us? Have you fought for our future? Like I said, who wears what, goes where, is a different thing altogether. I think what really matters is how you deliver on your promises and what you do in your professional life. I think that is very crucial.
I'll just ask you one or two more personal questions before I come to the current political scenario and some of the things that you worked in. Coming to your family, I know that you were a pampered grandchild. Your grandfather, Balasaheb Thackeray, was very, very fond of you. But
a lot of politicians now claim that they were pampered by him, and they were his favorites.
There is a lot of copyright claim on that too. But were you ever scared of him, scared of your father? How different are the two really?
No, the atmosphere at home was absolutely friendly. It was very, very encouraging. Not scared to a limit of playing cricket in the room that he's having important meetings. Playing with a crazy ball, having played cricket in his room, everything said and done, he was very encouraging. He encouraged us to learn more. He wanted us to learn newer languages. Different languages from around the world. He encouraged me to read more. And my grandfather and I had a relationship where, wherever I traveled around the world, I used to buy him dictionaries from those places and keep it in his room, and he would go through it. He would read the newspapers in the morning, and when I'd be back from school, he'd try to go over the words that he found difficult or he found different in pronunciations. And, we had a lot of common reading in between us, although the age gap was much more. He was in tune with what is happening with my generation.
But did you get the flair for poetry, for photography from him?
He pushed me for that because I used to be a closet poet back then, and he encouraged me to publish my first book. My parents were a little nervous of whether I should be publishing a book at 15 and get into the public limelight. But my grandfather was very encouraging about that.
I mean,
Yeah.
you even penned the lyrics for an entire album called Ummeed
Yes.
when you were just a teenager.
Yes.
So where
So
did
he
you
was
draw
the
your
one-
inspiration from for that?
I don't know, it comes. And like I said, now it's gone. I'm hoping that poems come back to me. Now all of the poetry is coming in speeches and campaigns. So, and against the opposition. So I might say that gotta be careful with what I write.
I read somewhere that you, for the longest, were actually nervous about public speeches. Is that
I
right?
was, yes.
How did you overcome
Even
that?
today, I feel I cannot give speeches. Even today, I think I'm not great at speeches. It's just that my grandfather told me that, forget about the speeches. Try to have a conversation with the people. Try to converse with the people. Try to say what you want to say to the people. Whoever is in front of you, stop thinking about who's in front of you. Think that you know them and you have a conversation. Try to convince the other person. Firstly, you've got to be convinced about your own issues and agendas, about your own points. And if you are, convince the other person, just converse with the person. That's where it is. Because in school, I was extremely scared of the stage. My principal was actually firing me, saying, the stage is your home, you've got to be there at some point. I'm like, no, sir, I don't want to be on stage. He said, and I was elected as school captain by teachers, and I was so upset with the teachers, saying, why did you vote for me? Now it's the reverse, when people don't vote for me. But it's like, why did you vote for me? I got 83% of votes. And I was like, I don't want you to vote for me. And my name was put by my principal. And they're like, no, you've got to lead the school. And of course, back then I hated being on stage. Now, as I look back, I prefer not looking back because I'm like, okay, I don't want to remind myself of those days. Even when I go back to school, I don't go near that stage because that stage is one stage I'm scared of.
But, how important do you think is the ability to be able to be a fiery orator, a good orator in being a politician?
I think in today's world, marketing is what is taking over the world. And especially in our country, if you market yourself well, you probably have not done anything in your life and you can be successful. But the younger crowd today is seeing through all of this. I think the next elections, there was a certain phase in our democratic history that marketing was everything. Now people are judging us on the work we do. We may be good speakers or not. We may be brilliant orators or not. We might give fiery speeches or not. Finally, what you convey to the people is what you've done and achieved in your public life. I think that is very crucial. So I believe as long as you can be dedicated to your work, as long as you can fulfill your promises, as long as you don't make fake promises, we're good.
I'll start taking questions early today because I know a lot of students have questions. In the next 5-7 minutes, please raise your hands. Our student volunteers will come to you. But coming to the current state of politics, Aditya, what is the state for the Shiva Sena, the UBT right now? Where do you see it going?
Well, there's
without
only
the
one
bow
Shiva
and the
Sena.
arrow, without the symbol.
Yeah, there's only one Shiva Sena. The others are Gaddars. They've tried to steal everything from us. They've tried to steal our party logo, party name. I heard the chief minister's gone to Delhi this morning.
Yeah, he was in Ayodhya before that.
Yeah. Because I think he's going to ask for a surname also, saying, can I put the name Thackeray? They're trying everything they can. But the fact of the matter is someone who's run away with everything is only tagged as a chore, nothing beyond that. The fact is today politics is being seen through a perspective of who is loyal to the agenda and who's not, who's loyal to the party, who's not, and who's loyal to the state, who's not. During our time as the MVA government, we saw zero incidents of communal violence. Everyone worked together. The state had almost 6.5 lakh crores as investment coming in. We had multiple MOUs signed which are translated on ground as factories coming up there or investments coming up there. We've had some of the best environmental policies. We've had a successful EV policy that was praised by the Niti Aayog. We've had tourism go on the rise despite the COVID lockdowns. So all of that said and done, today look at where Maharashtra is. It's sad to see that Maharashtra, that was competing amongst the top 5 states in the COVID times also, in terms of investment, tourism, in terms of sustainability, in terms of urban growth, is now lagging behind. And we have an unconstitutional government that's keeping aside the constitution and running a government that's highly autocratic, highly dictatorial, and opaque. That is sad. Today, if someone's asking a question on social media, they're being beaten up. The FIR is being put on the person that's beaten up. That is sad. Today, if you go and check where we stand as a state for investments, we are not one of the most attractive states only because we have political instability. You don't know whether the government is going to go in the next 24 hours or has already gone. That's the problem in
But
our
do you
country.
have faith in the people? Do you think people are
I have full
still
faith. I
with
have full
Uddhav
faith in-
Thackeray, with Shiv Sena?
Absolutely. I have full faith in the people. I have full faith in the judiciary. And I hope that we stick to our constitution and there will be justice.
You know, but what has happened also is with our politics getting so polarized and the kind of cases that have happened, including contempt cases, defamation cases, criminal defamation cases leading to disqualification, there are cases that are being slapped against you also. Are you a little bit more careful of what you say in public? Would that sort of temper you in any way?
Not really. I mean, kya kar lenge? See, the point is if you've not done anything wrong, why be scared? Finally, if you're fighting a dictatorial government, you have to fight with all that you have. And all that you have is your clear, clean intent. You're fighting for your country, you're fighting for the people. If you don't have a voice, see today, each and every politician who speaks against the government is facing some agency or the other. For what? Speaking the truth and speaking against the government. Today it's politicians, tomorrow it'll be you as journalists, and day after tomorrow it'll be the common man.
Well, already, I mean, there are
Already
cases.
you have cases. And I think this is a bad trend. Till today, you had people who used to be, very, very protective of their image, very, very protective of their government, and that's fine. But at least some people in the past had the guts to declare and call an emergency an emergency. Today, we are in an undeclared emergency.
Is it also happening because the opposition is still looking very fractured? Or is the
But tell
opposition
me
coming
something,
together?
is politics only about opposition and government? It is also about the people. If people's voice is stifled, who will speak for the people tomorrow? Finally, what political parties do from each and every perspective and each and every lens is speak about their own constituencies when it comes to a micro level and speak about the country and the people at large when it comes to a macro level. I speak for my constituency, I speak for my state, and I'll speak for my country. Likewise, you will do the same. Probably you'll speak from a different perspective, a different political ideology. You'll speak from either the left or the right or the centrist side. You'll speak from either the liberal or the closed out side or the open and the closed side. But you will speak for a particular group of people, and it is fair in a democracy that you will voice your people. You have the right to do so. Whether it is right or wrong will be decided by an electorate. But to completely knock out the opposition, to completely knock out any alternate voices is troublesome for our country. You know, when
But on the one hand, you talk about the electorate. On the other hand, every second day, we also hear questions around the EVM. Then, the moment the results are something which is not favoring somebody. So, how do you really sort of?
Look, I mean, we've been dealing with EVMs for the last 10, 12 years now, 15 years. We've seen a tectonic shift in political governments across the country, in the states, and in, of course, the union government. The point really is, EVM is finally a machine. EVM is a technology, and all the people in tech here will always debate whether it can be hacked or not hacked, whether it is hacked or not hacked. You've seen in UP elections, you've seen in different states where some EVMs have been taken away in some government vehicles and they've gone somewhere. They've
But then there are states where opposition parties have
Agreed.
won.
That can be a model also. My point is this, that if you are deciding on something so much important and so crucial as the national government and the state government and your city government that's going to decide your future for the next 5 years, why not have a machinery or why not have something like the ballot paper where you know where you stamp is where your vote is going?
Do you think we should go back to the ballot paper?
I don't
for
think
the
any
next
other
election?
country in the world today is on EVM.
How many of you have voted at least once so far?
And are you
Okay,
sure
the
where your vote
faculty
is?
and the director,
no, wait,
president
I
are
have a
definitely
sub-question to
nodding.
that. You voted on the EVM, right? How many of you believe that your vote has gone to the party that you voted for? Half the hands are down.
Okay, you sowed the seeds of doubt in a lot of thinking minds right here, right now. I will start taking questions. Show your raise of hands. By raise
I'm
of
going to
hands,
sit
please.
like this because then I
Yeah,
can see.
can we have a mic here quickly in the front row, please? We'll take 2 questions at
Can
a
I
time.
shift my chair a little bit so I can see? I'll do that. Don't worry. But I'll just so I can see the people. Otherwise, yes. Should I help you with that?
No, I'm good.
Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
हो गया, शांत. Go ahead.
Hello. Sir,
Hi.
my name is Prashant Rathod and I am from Maharashtra, Washim district.
अरे वाह, मराठीत विचारू शकता.
No, but I'll go with the English. because
मराठी में पूछ लो फिर इंग्लिश में कर देंगे ट्रांसलेट.
दोन्ही विचारा.
Okay, no problem. So I'll ask 2 questions then. So the first thing is की 3 महिन्यांपूर्वी इथले जे चीफ मिनिस्टर आहे KCR, they came to Maharashtra and met to our Shiv Sena chief Uddhav Thackeray and said ki we are brothers now KCRG are in, like they're in Maharashtra now. Can we see after coming election, BCR will be the our collaboration party in Maharashtra?
BRS and
BRS. See, I'll tell
BRS.
you what. I just before coming here, I went to meet KTRG, and I've met him a couple of times before also. I think as a person, he's a great person. मी त्यांच्याशी आधी पण इंटरॅक्ट केलंय, डायव्हॉर्सला पण केलंय, वेगळ्या वेगळ्या गोष्टींवर इंटरॅक्ट केलेलं आहे. Whenever we speak about, it's more than politics. It's about showing technology, innovation, ideation. Alliances, brothers, आता ज्यांच्याबरोबर we were in alliance for 25 years and we thought were more than our brothers, stabbed in our back. So ये तो चलते रहेगा. But I think what is very crucial is for all of us as a certain generation, when we meet, to go beyond just politics of whether you will win or I will win or whether we should be in alliance, to go and speak about the common issues of people and whether we can find solutions for that. I think that is something we need to build as an alliance of at least ideologies, be it from this side or that side, to look for solutions than just for electorates. I think that is very important.
we take a question here, then we'll go towards that row. Yeah.
Hi, sir. I'm Garima. I had a question about what you said when you said that we talk about history and we talk about religion, but not about issues. And I actually wanted to link it to like the environmental concept of common but differentiated responsibility, where the history does, like even if we are forward looking, the history does come in when they're talking about developed and developing countries and who holds like more of the accountability of that work. And in India, given the
We're
demographic.
talking of the global north, global south.
And now, when we talk about in India, just in the political part of it, the caste system is the reality in India. And like, who is the vulnerable and who is the one that is not, who's giving, like, who's basically oppressing, that impacts the drivers of change in our future as well. And so, even if you can say that this is different and this is different, but both of them are linked in some way. And how does politics and or maybe you and your party, how is it looking at that?
So you want me to answer about environment or caste?
About the difference, like how history is an important aspect and religion.
The
is an-
oppressed and oppressed.
Yeah. Exactly.
So see, my perspective is very clear. History gives you sort of an insight into what was in the past from different perspectives again, because history has been written through different perspectives. Normally the victor has written history, then you have different types of history. You'll have each perspective coming in. And thankfully now with books available widely and the internet coming in, we can share a different perspective at every different step in history and in time. Be it environment, be it political history, be it whatever. I think what we need to do is learn from the past, but we need to have a realistic perspective of what is happening today and how it will adversely affect our future. What we need to find solutions for is our today. When we speak about environment also, there's always this debate at COP26 and all these international conferences of who is responsible for pollution, who is the historic polluter, what is Global North doing, should Global North be paying for it? Agreed, they should be. In a utopian world, they would be. But the fact of the matter today is the Global South is facing the adverse effects of whatever's happened in the past in terms of pollution. If you look at India alone, the amount of population that we have, the amount of urban-rural population divide that we have, the amount of poor, middle-class, higher-class population that we have, and the amount of vulnerability that we see in all of these sectors put together, we'd probably be the highest in the world if and when climate change starts affecting us. I'll give you a simple example. In the year 2020, when we were facing a COVID lockdown, Maharashtra's faced hailstorms, unseasonal rainfalls, all of it together in that year particularly. And we've had to give out compensation of 14,500 crores in 1 year when we were facing a COVID lockdown to farmers, and rightfully so. The thing is, compensation has to be given out appropriately and rightfully timely. But we're not still going to the fact of the matter that why is this happening? And if you start asking the question why, the answer is simple: climate change. Tomorrow, the battle over water. Tomorrow, the fight over heat waves, cold waves. The root cause of it is going to be climate change. And whenever the global north feels responsible and all, this is one thing. But we need to start acting on our mitigation measures. We need to start acting on our adaptation measures. And likely for every issue, be it social, political, or nature-based, we need to look at what is affecting us today and how we can address it, because finally, most of the countries in the past 10 years have looked inwards. Globalization phase was sort of little on the back burner. You saw Trump winning in the United States. You saw Marine Le Pen winning, not winning, but coming close to winning in France. You saw Brexit happening. And you saw a nationalist government coming in India. So we're looking inwards. Our solutions also have to be self-sustaining.
Let's take a question there from the back row. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I'm Varshit. Sir, it's a simple question for you. 6 months ago, Times of India newspaper have conducted a survey saying that what could bring a change in India. So most of the Indian people have answered that only corporates and politicians could bring change in India. Now, bringing the new technology to India, AI, which is being taken over the world, many corporates have been disturbed by this. CEOs have been replaced by AIs. So, what do you think? These politicians and the governance could also be coming under AI? If it comes, like only politicians would have only one job: vada pav ka or aram karo bas.
I think with the current state of politics and the way it is going, people will soon choose AI over politics. But to answer your question, the response was absolutely right. Where fundamentally I came into politics because I believe and I strongly believe that if there is a change that we need to bring about, the only one profession that can have an impact on 1 billion plus lives in India is politics. Policies can change everything. Of course, how we conduct our politics, for whom do we conduct our politics, and why do we conduct our politics is a very crucial question. Artificial intelligence, again, is going to be dictated by what inputs are going into it. We need to have solutions for our problems. I think if the politicians and if politics at large can work in sync with technology, can work in sync with corporates and in a positive sync, not in a negative sync. Paisa घुमाने को नहीं, अच्छा काम करने को.
Sir, but in the India,
one minute, lastly, to have a good cooperation between the people, because see, finally what happens is, a common way of politicians to think is once you're in government, you think you're isolated and bubbled out from the people, and only what I think is right, what the people think is wrong. I think we also need to understand that the people have voted you for a limited time, for a limited term, and you need to listen to the people because you're finally voicing the people. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll take the question here, guys. We have to take
Just
a
a
question.
second, ma'am. But in the India, the 38.7%, the problem is only the corruption, sir. But if the humans are replaced with the AI, but the corruption problem would be reduced to zero. Wouldn't that be helpful for India?
See, I think what is important is also to have a human touch to everything. Corruption is one problem of a systemic issue that can be gotten rid of by various means, by more accountability, by answerability. We always have the possibility of changing a government. To change a government, to change a political party is easy, but there has to be a mix of artificial intelligence and different technologies, innovators, ideators, merged with corporates, merged with politics.
I think, but as a counterpoint, what if corrupt politicians start maximizing on AI? What happens then to corruption?
And that will also impact EVMs.
Okay, let's have a question here. You've been waiting.
Hello, Mr. Aditya. I'm Sriram. My question is about the anti-defection law, not in the context of the Maharashtra political crisis.
Trust me, we've done a doctorate on that right now.
So let's assume that I'm a sitting MLA or MP, and there's a bill being passed in the House which is against the wishes of my constituents, but my party stands and the whip says that I have to vote for the bill. So the current law states that if I'm against the whip, I could be disqualified. Do you think that dismisses parliamentary democracy, that individual opinions of MPs are not considered, the constituents' views are not being appreciated, and it's just the party's will be oppressed on the people?
I think it's a very interesting question that you've asked. And for us to go further and mature further as a parliamentary democracy, there are certain steps that we need to take very crucially. What you've asked in terms of the whips, there's one question about stability. Obviously, when a political party puts together its candidates on its symbol and puts the candidates in the fray, you are also voting for the face that the political party has put as its leader. You're voting for the political party and its ideology in entirety. And the candidate is a face of the political party and ideology being represented through the constituency. If a candidate feels that he doesn't wish to be holding true to the ideology of the political party, you always have the option of switching over by resigning and switching sides and going for election again, or contesting as an independent MLA or an MP or a corporate or a councillor, whatever it's called. Whips are differently applied across the world. For example, UK has limited section for whips. USA I have not studied much, but India, obviously you have a single line whip, 2-line whip, 3-line whip, and I think whip is only fair because finally it holds together a political party and provides some sense of stability to the parliament or the assembly and the institution at large. What I think can be instituted in our parliament and in our assemblies is a concept from the United Kingdom where you have the Prime Minister's questionnaire, where anyone from whichever side can ask the Prime Minister And of course, in the assembly is the chief minister. Whatever amount of questions from a broad range of topics which are not listed earlier, in that half an hour. I think that is very, very important. I think that is only fair that we can do.
Guys, up in the gallery, can I please request you all to stay quiet? There are people out here asking questions.
The whip is implemented to you.
Yeah, the whip. We are issuing a whip right now. Let's get in a question here.
Hi Aditya.
Can you
This
ask
is
loudly?
Hi Aditya, I'm audible.
Yeah, actually.
So this is Audumbar. I'm from Maharashtra. So my question is related to the Maharashtra politics because growing up in 2000 in Maharashtra, the kind of politics we used to have and the kind of politics we have, I'm asking particularly in the context of the opportunism that we have, because a lot of today's BJP leader, they were erstwhile NCP and Congress leader, and some of them were Shiv Sena leader. At grassroots cadre, my cousin is a Shiv Sena worker for last 30 years. And he has been very loyal to that. But at the top level, the kind of opportunism that we are seeing is just mind-blowing. So you're trying to revive your party. You are going to every part of the Maharashtra. You have been to countries, rural part. So does it hold you back, that thought that if that gets repeated again, I'm trying to revive the party, but what if that same scenario will be repeated after 10 years? Is it holding you back?
I think it comes to a fundamental question of human trust. You end up placing your trust in a few people. You end up giving everything that you have to them, right from your own campaigners compromising on your own health, everything to defend them, compromising on your mental peace. Every position of power that comes to you, you give it to them, and sometimes they just run away like these Gang of 40 have done. Effectively, the question again is whether you trust someone else or not. I think to run anything successfully and to run anything very, very humanely, you need to trust, because finally, there are people who've not run away also. There are people who've stuck to us. There are people who've stuck to us in the toughest of times when we have nothing to offer them in terms of politically. And we have got to trust them. And I think trust is the one glue that will hold us, everyone together. Just because someone's broken your trust, you can, not do away with trust. You'll have to trust people. What I see it as is there were these 40 people who had stuck to their positions for years and years, and we gave them everything. They've run away. We've got 40 new places opened up, and we have 40 new people coming in, 40 new opportunities that we can give. That's the only way to look at it.
But if they want to return tomorrow, घर वापसी होगी उनकी?
If in but में जाके कोई issue नहीं है, बात तो बहुत हो सकती है, but finally when they're going to get disqualified, my only question to them is, how will you face the people that are calling you Gaddar? And how will you face the creator when you have to face him?
There's no channel of communication open with them at the moment. To try
No,
and get
they
them back.
obviously in the assembly, most of them are scared to look at us. They don't see eye to eye. Some of them are winking from here to there, saying, if these guys get disqualified, we'll come back. If I'm not made a minister, we'll come back. And you see, the expansion of the Maharashtra cabinet hasn't happened in 9 months. They will not do it either. They're scared to do so.
Okay. Let's take a question from here. Maybe we can take two questions, one from you and one from here. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Shashwat. I'm from Uttar Pradesh, Kanpur. Sir, the current government of Maharashtra is being criticized by Uddhav Thackeray as well as his followers. And though they are the same people, the MLAs which turned up and they went with the BJP government and formed a new alliance with the BJP, they are the same people who got tickets by Uddhav Thackeray. Now, just because they turned up, they went against Uddhav Thackeray, all of a sudden they became the worst people, they became the worst politicians, corrupt politicians. Why is it like that? The main ideology on which Shiv Sena always worked under the rule of Balasaheb Thackeray was Hindutva and not going with Congress. He himself mentioned that thing. If there's a video, there are his videos which he himself mentioned. He will shut Shiv Sena, but he will never go with Congress. But just for the sake of power, why Uddhav Thackeray formed a government with Congress, and all of those ideologies, all of those mindsets have been kept aside just for the sake of power?
I'll divide your question into two. I think if you can term something of complete disregard, disloyalty for someone who has been backstabbed and gone over just for power there. These 40 people have gone for their own seats, nothing else, and for the money. The chief minister, who's the current chief minister, has come and cried in a house because he was going to be arrested by a central agency. And he said, I have to hop out of the BJP, otherwise they will arrest me. It was his good luck that they wanted to show that, this guy is the true Sena and we'll make him the chief minister. But if you can term this betrayal and this backstabbing as just because it speaks highly about what you see as morality. Because for me, trust is everything. For me, if someone who I've given everything to if I have given everything to you and you backstab me, it doesn't remain just because you've broken my trust, you've broken everything. Two, if you speak about my grandfather's Hindutva and if you speak about my grandfather's ideals, I think I've learned a little more than the WhatsApp university that the BJP is spreading. My grandfather has had ties with the Congress before. He has had a better relationship with the Gandhi family earlier also. We've openly supported Mr. Pranab Mukherjee in the presidential elections. We've openly supported one more president, Mrs. Patil, from the Congress, openly when the BJP was supporting another candidate. On the flip side, the BJP has gone around making alliances with parties like PDP that has supported terrorists. And that is their Hindutva and that is okay with them. Our Hindutva is clearly defined. We don't burn people over what they eat. That is the BJP's Hindutva. That is not acceptable to my father, to me, not to my grandfather, not to our people, not to Maharashtra. For us, backstabbing is an alliance when the BJP had promised us an alliance on half and half and going back on the principles. Going back on your principles, going back on your promises is not Hindutva for me. For me, Hindutva is Raghukul Reet Sada Chali Aaye, Pran Jaye Par Vachan Na Jaye. Whatever promises you make, you have to fulfill them. Going back on your promises.
So that was a vachan made by Bala
one
Sahib.
minute. Let me fulfill. Let me tell you the whole thing. Thirdly, if you believe that the Ram temple was coming up because of the central government, it's a false thing. The Supreme Court has given the order for the Ram temple. The government hasn't given the order. My point is simply this, that this is politics, and in politics, if things can be promised left, right, center by the BJP and not adhered to, if things can be promised by any other party not adhered to, everyone's open. And just by going with the Congress, we don't leave Hindutva. No one particular party is the forebearer of Hindutva. I am a Hindu. I was Hindu when the BJP had broken an alliance with the Shiv Sena in 2014. Back then, we hadn't broken the alliance. The BJP had broken the alliance. We were Hindus then, we were Hindus now. Why did the BJP backstab us in 2014? So my point is this, that I think we need to step out from the WhatsApp university. We need to step out from the troll mindset and realize that if the BJP is indulging in real politics, we also need to play politics, but not for the bad of the people. For us, it is about our state, taking the state together without fights and divisions. If you see now what the BJP is doing in the state today, they're inciting riots. But what about those people in Kashmir, the Kashmiri Pandits? Why isn't the world's largest pro-Hindutva party speaking for Kashmiri Pandits who are asking for transfers from Kashmir to safer places when Kashmiri Pandits are even being killed today? These are questions that really need to be asked. And if the BJP was so careful about my grandfather's politics and ideology, it wouldn't have tried to finish off the party built by my grandfather when my grandfather's actually helped the BJP build what it is today in Maharashtra. So I think that is very crucial for me.
Okay, no, I'll have to take another question. I'm sorry. Let's take a quick question here.
Hello,
We'll
sir.
take two questions now, guys.
I am
because-
Shubha Pratap, student of Kautilya School of Public Policy. So my question is, Eknath Shinde or BJP, who do you think is a bigger threat to Shiv Sena now?
I don't think Eknath Shinde is a threat at all. And I think, look, I've known the BJP of the past. I've known the BJP of Mr. Vajpayee's time. I've known the BJP of course, even Pramod ji and Munde ji. And I've also seen, we've had great relations with the Prime Minister also. So there's no issue personally with them. There is no personal issue with them. The problem today for me is, today under the BJP government in the state of Maharashtra, I can't speak for the other states because I don't indulge in those politics in those states. For me in Maharashtra today, suddenly you have riots springing up everywhere. You have differences between caste, creed, religion springing up everywhere. You have very vocal, people who are trying to spark hatred between age groups of every kind, between people of every kind. And in that, Maharashtra is suffering. When I was speaking to KTR right now, he was telling me of the industries that are coming up here, the technology, innovation hubs that are coming up here, Amazon, IKEA, all of that. In our times, I was joking with him. In Davos, when we spoke, we had this little friendly banter of a conversation where we were saying, okay, we are competitors now to attract some of the best investments from around the world. Why? Because we had peace and stability in the government of Maharashtra. We had Shiv Sena, which we, of course, are a Hindutvawadi party, but completely different from BJP's Hindutva. You had the Congress and the NCP, and I think that is a beautiful blend of what democracy is today. You had three different ideologies coming together to run the state for the people of Maharashtra and bringing in investment on ground. If you look at what we did during COVID times, it's not just us who are speaking about it. In fact, we have marketed it the least. The Supreme Court has praised us, the Prime Minister has praised us, the WHO has praised us, the Dharavi model was taken by the WHO and spoken to the world about. So I think what is very important today is my problem is the state BJP of Maharashtra is taking Maharashtra behind. And the threat is not to me. I can leave politics, you can leave politics, and which I won't. I'm not here to lose a fight. I'm here to win the fight. I'm not here to give up. But the state is suffering. That is my problem.
Okay, let's take in a question here.
Hello.
And then,
Hello, Aditya. I'm Sanket, MPB student at Kautilya School of Public Policy. I'm from Thane, महाराष्ट्र.
अरे वाह.
तर मी मराठीतच प्रश्न विचारतो.
ठाण्यातून लढलो तर चालेल का मी?
अरे नक्की आवडेल आम्हाला.
थँक्यू.
तर माझा प्रश्न हा आहे की आता रिसेंटली जे 50 जण शिवसेनेतून गेलेले आहेत आमदार आणि जे आपण पैशाची गोष्ट झालेली आहे आणि जे बघतोय की मग ग्रामीण भागामध्ये, कारण की हे सगळे आमदार आहेत ते ग्रामीण भागातून जास्त आलेले आहेत, तर ग्रामीण भागात पुन्हा शिवसेना न्यायला तुम्ही कोणत्या पद्धतीने प्रयत्न करणार? आणि दुसरा माझा डायनास्टिक पॉलिटिक्सवर प्रश्न आहे.
okay, quickly, ask the second question in English, please, so that others can
My
also
second
follow.
question from dynastic policies. Many constituency or Maharashtra peoples are elected. They are something Parivarvad family. They are from Parivarvad. So how can Shiv Sena, new Shiv Sena can change their leaders?
I'll tell you. The first thing, of course, is जेव्हा तुम्ही विचारता की 40 people who ran away, and there is this whole thing of whether they've got money or not. There's a very famous saying that's gone around in Maharashtra, 50 खोके एकदम okay, which means 50 crores एकदम okay. Abhi, the common belief is, and I'm not saying this, the common belief across everyone in Maharashtra is these guys, there was a commercial deal, and these guys went across to the BJP or whatever gang that they formed, the Alibaba and 40, to obviously have a commercial benefit out of it. Till date, not a single MLA who's hopped over has refuted the claim that they've not touched money. Nobody has done so. So that is one. Yes, of course, looking at the financial power that they have and all, it's very difficult practically if you see. But again, if you look at what's happening on ground and the amount of public support and love that we've got in the past 9 months and before that also in administration, we're highly confident that Maharashtra will support us. All the surveys are showing so. But more than the surveys, I think when you look into the eyes of people, that is what gives me confidence. The second one is a very important question of dynastic politics, because this is, now, if you look at me, I think I'm the 6th generation of my family known to be serving in the social field. Before that, I had my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, all of them, they've done some kind of social work or the other. There are pros and cons to it. Of course, one feels a dynasty is easy to take on. There are other people who feel it's a burden to shoulder the responsibility. You always compare to someone. I don't look at it that way. It's very simple. I think in today's world, be it in politics, corporate, or any other world, if you're successful, if you're delivering on your promises, the people will elect you and take you ahead, because people are now smart. There's so much of technology available. There's so much of social media available. If you can't live up to your promises, if you can't do good work, at some point you will be put out. You get a platform for sure. But in today's world, with so many different platforms available to the people, anyone who is working hard will win. And you've seen so many dynastic people lose also in elections and win also. Now, finally, it comes to, there are some constituencies who will always believe that, okay, this person who is, say, 4th, 5th, or 3rd generation person working from a family has a reputation to keep and will stick around. The other people will say, "Arey, mera koi nahi hai, main to bhag bhi ja sakta hu. Ho bhi sakta hai aise." So, I think that's the difference. And finally, today, in our democracy, people have a choice. And that is open for the people.
I think, Aditya, if I could just come in here, and before I go to the next question, it's a lot like the debate around nepotism in the film industry. That while you may say that, look, just because you're a star kid, it doesn't guarantee that your movies are going to be a hit. But that first audition, that first break, it is a lot easier. You yourself have pursued a degree in law. If you weren't from a political family, would you have really still wanted to be in politics? Or would you have been pursuing a different career?
I've seen very, very closely of what politics can do as a positive change. Of course, now when I see some politicians very closely, I see why people hate politicians also, especially with these 40. But I think it is one field where if you want to create an impact, you have to be there.
But fighting an election for people, young people like this, to fight a party that will give them a ticket, to find money to fund their elections.
Absolutely.
It's the difficult
I'll tell
job,
you what,
much
if
easier
you-
for those with a political background.
No, I'll tell you what. If you look at the history of Shiv Sena, if you see all our people who've got elected today, even in this generation, most of them come from very, very humble backgrounds or no political backgrounds. I think that is what set us apart.
Okay. I think
And we'll
people-
continue to do so.
Right. Let's take a question here. Is there anybody in the back row? Yeah, we'll take the question there also. Go ahead.
हाय आदित्य मी प्रिया भटकर मी बांद्राचीच आहे
Let's stick to English questions now,
exactly
guys.
so I'm turning it to
Yeah, both ways
into
is
an
fine.
yeah exactly so what I wanted to ask is that we saw in the recent past, especially during COVID, that when Uddhav Thackeray was the CM, he took a very standoffish stance and he used to come and speak to the public one-on-one. That really worked because we saw that there is a CM who's attempting to communicate with the public. After which, what happened? Sahanubhati ahe bharpur. You know, people have that thing that oh something happened which went wrong, but the emotion is still with the CM that was there. How are you going to channelize this event to win that next milestone that is ahead of you?
See, firstly, thank you for speaking about the COVID times and the word that you use, sahanubhati, sympathy. Now, obviously, that is something my father and I are feeling and being cushioned by the people. We're being warmly welcomed everywhere, embraced by the people. But that is not something we want to convert to politics. That is something for what we hold very close to our hearts. What is very crucial is just like you said about COVID, the administration of 2.5 years, be it in COVID times or be it in the 3 or 4 months that we got as non-COVID. And of course, all through COVID times, what we worked on in terms of ease of doing business, ease of compliance, ease of living, urbanism, supporting farmers all throughout. Now, one of the responses I get from farmers across Maharashtra is the only loan waiver that we've received is from Mr. Uddhav Thackre's government. पहले भी और बाद में भी सिर्फ होर्डिंग दिखते थे, उसके बाद कुछ नहीं दिखता था. On the contrary, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray did not put a single hoarding, but we received the loan waiver. Now, I think that is what our main plank is, administration. People have seen us. If they want to accept us, it will only and only be on the plank of administration and what we work for the people genuinely. In terms of reaching out to the people directly, my father believed that as a chief minister and as a political leader, during COVID times when many states were wanting to hold back the numbers, wanting to hide the numbers, it is a pandemic. You have to be truthful about the numbers because in a pandemic, if you're the only state where numbers are not seen, something's amiss. So you have to be honest. Only then the people will be more careful and trust the government more. To build the trust, you have to be honest and transparent. And that's where he came on TV. And I think that was what really helped us to have the people listen to the state government and actually wear masks and take all the precautions as we could.
Half the politicians actually weren't on TV wearing masks. Let me take that question, then I'll come here.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Jai
afternoon.
Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Sir, my question is regarding the MBA and the next politics, the elections in the Maharashtra. Will the MBA work with the alliance that is currently being run, and what will be the main agenda? If yes, what will be the ratio of Shiv Sena, NCP, Congress? Thank you.
Also, I think if you could add to this, because, yesterday the NCP, Trinamool Congress have been stripped of the national party status. Aam Aadmi Party has come out as a national party. Do you see you being an interlocutor? Because you've been meeting leaders from all these parties. Is there some attempt on to try and get everybody together at
No, I
every
think
level?
this national parties, regional party tag is purely based on an arithmetic constitution equation put in our constitution. So that's fine. In terms of equations, yeah, I'll take you for our talks. You can negotiate for us.
What will be the main agenda, sir?
Look, I mean, finally, once again, this is boiling down to the fact that whether we are a democratic country or not, whether we can listen to different perspectives or not, we were open to democratic, views with the BJP back then. We've been with them for 25 years. We saw a different BJP that was trying to finish us out and, completely knock us out from the state. So for the state and whatever promises they had made, they went back on. We found new friends who've stood with us about political equation, seats sharing. I think that is all. When the elections come up, we'll see.
Okay. Let's take a question here from a faculty member, and then we'll take a question from this side.
Hi, Aditya. I think because I'm a faculty, I can call you Aditya.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, we
Anyone
have been
can call
having
me
a lot
Aditya. I
of
don't-
discussions.
Yeah, I'm fine.
We have been having a lot of discussions on the political, parties. I think we all have our own political ideologies. No matter what the other says, we'll stick to it. So I don't want to debate on what you think and what the other parties talk about. Now, since I have come to the first time for this Changemaker series, I was really wanting to see you as a change maker, as an environment minister. What have you done which you would call is a change, which has brought in a change as an environment minister?
Thank you. Over the past over the past 9 months, what has happened is the only thing I've invited about to speak on is politics. And the past 2.5 years, all my interviews, all my talks were not about politics at all. It was only about the three portfolios I had. One was environment, second was tourism, and the third was protocol. Environment is something I picked up purely out of my passion for environment, both passion and fear, because I think we've come to a point where if we don't start acting on what we are going through, we will face tougher times as a country, no matter what ideology you believe in, no matter what party you vote for, we will face tough times economically and ecologically. Some of the things that we've been able to achieve in Maharashtra in the past 2.5 years of environment, the first and foremost thing I'm really, really proud of is in a span of 11 months, we've been able to notify and protect more than 15,000 hectares of mangroves and wetlands as mangroves under the Indian Forest Act of 1927. So that is the first thing where, as a minister, I had the opportunity to bring together one divisional commissioner, 6 collectors, all the NGOs working on this in one room, discuss and debate of why 15,000 hectares was not protected. More than 30 conservation reserves have been declared in the past 2.5 years under our government as protected areas and conservation reserves in the state of Maharashtra. There were 2 mines, I don't know whose interests were in those mines, coming up in tiger corridors in the national park. We stopped those mines. We said no mining in national parks because the first and foremost priority has to be given to national parks within a national park. Outside the national park, limited mining, whatever is important for our country, for our economy, has to go on, but not within the national park. There was a train running from one of our districts going through a forest area, through a national park sanctuary again, not a national park sanctuary. Had we only shifted it out, it would have connected 110 villages. Inside the forest, it was not connecting anybody except the conversion from a narrow gauge to a broad gauge. We persuaded the government of India to convert it from narrow gauge to broad gauge, but outside the periphery of the sanctuary and connect 110 villages, thereby connecting so many people. RA Forest, within the city of Mumbai, we've declared 800 acres of that area as a forest under the Indian Forest Act 1927. The EV policy of 2021 was just not praised by the government of Maharashtra because we made it, but by all corporates. We had monthly meetings to keep adding and removing things from them because a policy always has to be flexible, I believe. But Mr. Amitabh Kant of the Niti Aayog and Mr. Rajiv Kumar praised it on national and international platforms because we made it with WRI, Rocky Mountain Institute, so on and so forth. The Tillari Conservation Reserve is a part of the Queen's Commonwealth canopy, and after that, Assam has given, I think, 2 more forests to them. We've made a marine sanctuary. 3 Ramsar sites happened during our government. Thane Creek is now a Ramsar site. It's probably the only one in the world where we have a city like Mumbai, a city like Thane, a city like Navi Mumbai on 3 sides, and you have a wildlife sanctuary and a Ramsar site within these 3 cities that hold almost 3 or 4 crore people within that periphery. So I think these are some of the things that we could do. We won an award at Glasgow in 2021 for action. From about 120 states around the world, Maharashtra was chosen for action on ground at COP26 by the Climate Group. Just before demitting from government, we were almost about to get into the steering committee of the C40 and the Climate Group. Now, of course, with the change in government, all of this has been reversed, sadly so. But I think we'll keep at
Maharashtra
it.
climate-
And also, we made the first climate action plans for Mumbai, Pune, Solapur, Kolhapur, probably the first in the country with C40.
The Maharashtra political climate has changed, but I think Maharashtra was also under the previous government one of the first states that was moving towards a zero plastic use,
Yes.
which is very
also,
crucial.
Also, if I can interrupt you, 10,000 electric buses in the city of Mumbai. We were planning to do so by 2027. It would have helped us economically and environmentally because I always see through perspective of both environment and economics. Till companies don't make profits, they are not going to go green. We need to have people who make money and make profits so that we can sustain our ecology and environment both. BST buses run at 5 rupees for 5 kilometers, 10 for 10, 15 for 15. Anything beyond 15 is flat fare of 20 rupees. Now with diesel being at around 32 rupees per kilometer for the BST, CNG being at 22 rupees a kilometer, electricity was coming, electric buses were coming at 9 rupees a kilometer for buses. Our calculation was that with 10,000 electric buses and with the same fares, by 2027, BSC for the first time would have hit surplus budget for a public transport sector. Double-decker electric buses in the city were bought by us in our times. The BJP accused us of God knows what, of conniving with Pakistan and this and that. And now they went and inaugurated the same things that we've brought into the city. But okay.
You know, how many of you are actually football fans here? Couple of you. So, you know, another aspect of as a change maker, and I see a lot of young girls also raising their hands.
Messi or Ronaldo? Chetri. How many for Chetri?
Sunil Chetri. Okay, I hear a Neymar
How many for
too.
Jingam?
But the point is that actually Aditya also helped get international football to Mumbai after decades. He's managed to build a football center of excellence, and there are a lot of young women football players who are now also coming into the game. You know,
Yes.
that's something again, was your own personal project you wanted
Yes.
to...
So I've always played cricket. I've played till C division of Kanga League and all that. Never been a footballer. My brother's been into football. But when I took over the charge of Mumbai District Football Association, we never had a ground for football in Mumbai. We've made the Mumbai Football Arena, got back international football after 60 years. And Mumbai City is now the champion of the ISL.
Yes.
And the Indian football team also has never lost a game if they've played at Mumbai Football Arena or trained at Mumbai Football. We had a streak of 13 unbeaten wins for
Wow.
India.
Wow, that's one really lucky center. I'll just take the last two questions now. We have to wrap up. I can see one hand there raised, yeah.
Hello, sir. My name is Harsha. I'm a second-year master student. My question to you is that you have been a minister. I'm sure you have interacted with a lot of corporates for investments for your state. I want to know, in your experience, does this increasing rise of religious polarization,
So can we increase the volume a little bit?
The communal politics, regional...
Yeah.
the increase in communal hatred, does that factor into the decision making of corporates when they decide to invest or not in a state?
Okay. Investment,
Yes.
faith, and I'll
It does.
take one question.
I'll tell you why. When any investment is coming to your state, especially from any country abroad, there are two types of investment. One is expansion of the existing whatever plant or factory or establishment they have. The other is a new one. If at all a new one is coming, they look at a couple of factors. One is political stability. Two, they look at social stability. Three, of course, the most crucial is whether your electricity rates, water rates, supply of electricity and water is going to be stable. And four, a steady stream of peaceful labor supply. These are 3 or 4 supplies that I've seen very, very closely that all these companies really see. And then, of course, how far is your export unit from there, whether you have a port or an airport, what is the climatic condition. But the first and foremost thing they see is the socio-political status of that state and that region.
Okay, I have to take absolutely the last 2 questions. One, the young girl there, and one, this boy who's been raising his hand for a long time. The last 2 questions, please. Go ahead.
There's the one there.
Yeah. You wanted to ask a question. Okay, quickly. I'm combining the questions now. Very quickly, please.
Thank you for coming here, Aditya. I'm Natraj. I'm a first-year student in public policy at KSPP. What has been most refreshing since Uddhav Sahib had become the Chief Minister of Maharashtra? More important than anything probably for me is the way the political climate of Maharashtra had changed.
Question, please. We are running out of time.
Yeah. So
It's fine to hear praise. It's nice. Thank you. It's rather than politics.
I think what was most important about the way Shiv Sena changed was that Shiv Sena and other parties, other Hindutva parties like Shiv Sena, were most perfectly poised to question the way the BJP has been taking Hindus for a ride across the country by making a tamasha of a religion that was thousands of years old. Tughlaq, Babur, any other, all those emperors couldn't damage Hinduism, do nothing. Hinduism stands as strong it is today as it was 1,000 years ago. And some minority, 14%, is a threat to Hinduism. I mean, I wouldn't agree with that. If anybody could question it, it would be somebody with a strong Hindutva stance as Shiv Sena had. Apart from that, we've seen the initiatives that you've taken as a minister, as part of the government, what you've done with RA. So we want more leaders who talk about challenges, about the challenges now like you do, like KTR does here. And we want more pragmatic leaders than those people who, incite
Okay,
hate.
you've made a comment. I'm going to stop you there. There's no question coming
No,
in.
question
but
is
I'm
coming.
glad that you
The question
acknowledge
is
that
right
we
round
need
the corner,
pragmatic. No, I'm sorry. I'll have to wrap it. Let's go to the question
But
here.
thank you for the
young
kind
girl.
words. I think
Thank you.
that is the kind of politics we need today.
Yeah.
I'll still do the question.
Just the last question. I'm sorry, he's eaten into your time. You'll have to settle scores with him later on. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Amulya, and my question is, what's your take on youth leadership in India? A youth leader, or what do you have to say about all of that?
What stage should politics start? You see a lot of leaders whose roots were in college politics, but then you have parents, faculty saying, campus में politics मत कर.
अभी 2014 के बाद हर जगह politics ही हो रहा है. पहले तो politics wasn't on your dining table. Now everyone's speaking politics, but I think youth leadership is very, very crucial because we bring a different perspective. But again, I'm also a believer of both, Hosh and Josh. You need the wisdom of the experienced people. You cannot do away with that because they've seen a lot more years than us. They've seen a lot more crises than us. I think that is very important. So a good mixture of young and old, or young and senior citizens, or senior politicians would be the best way to go ahead. It all also depends on the electorate.
Anybody here who aspires to be a politician? Young students? Okay, shyly the hands are coming out. I'm going to wrap this session with a quick rapid
But you
fire
might trust
round.
people more.
With a very quick rapid fire round for 2 minutes. So let's just hear Aditya answer some questions quickly. Aditya, starting with the question now. Messi, Mbappe or Ronaldo?
Mbappe.
Mbappe. Favorite poet?
But again, in terms of humility, maybe Messi.
Okay, I am a Messi fan, so I'm glad to hear that. Your favorite poet?
Too many, but maybe Rabindranath Tagore's Chitta Chitte Bhaya Shunya.
Oh, lovely. That's beautiful. Pay or not pay for Twitter verification and subscription?
Do you have an option now?
You can. I've decided not to pay.
I think it is important sometimes to pay because you at least get a verification and people hear you. That's a good way to reach the people. Especially if you don't spread rumors, it's what you have to do.
Cricket or football?
Play cricket, watch football, unless it's test cricket.
Insta Reels or YouTube Shorts?
Trust me, I'm going to be very boring at rapid fire. I've championed this and I can be very, very boring and not give you headlines out of this. But
There's no headline and there's no coffee hamper also, which is why. Because there is no headlines.
Mentos.
Insta Reels or YouTube Shorts?
Reels.
Reels?
Yeah.
You do a lot of Reels?
Reels.
AI Chat GPT. Good, bad, evil.
Not thought too much about it.
Halt advanced AI exploration, says Elon Musk. Yes or no?
Someone hold back Elon Musk also, please. He's changing Twitter and how.
He keeps changing the Twitter logos also. This is the difficult one. Kolkata, Lucknow or Hyderabadi biryani?
Is that even a debate?
For me, if you don't say Kolkata, then it is.
Mumbai.
Mumbai has a biryani? Come on. Mumbai has vada pav. I have not heard of a Mumbai biryani.
I'll make you have some Mumbai biryani. It's really nice.
You promise you'll cook it for us?
We'll do that.
Okay, great. I'm taking you up on that offer. Final question. Who will lead the National Opposition Alliance? Rahul Gandhi, Mamata Banerjee, Arvind Kejriwal, KCR?
People of India. That's a smart political answer.
You get a box of Mentos for that last answer.
No, you know what? To be honest, on a concluding note, when you speak about, opposition alliance or even the government, I've been discussing this with everyone where we feel that a single party government is very, very important for India. It's a stronger India. I've always believed like for a country of ours with so much diverse population, regions, religions, states, different ideology for every state, it's very crucial for us to have multiple voices in the government, whoever's running the government. You need to have an alliance. It's very attractive for me as a political party to have a single party alliance, a single party rule, but it's also scary that I can have only my will and not listen to the people. Very crucial for us to have alliances at the top and have a multi-party government and have multiple voices in governments at every level. I think that's very important.
Okay, I think I'm not going to stand anymore between the students and your lunch hour, but this has been a pleasure talking to you, Aditya Thackeray.
Thank you.
All the
Likewise.
best for your
Likewise.
future. Can I request the president of Geetam, Sri Bharat, to please come up on stage? A token of appreciation. Priyanka, could you also join us on stage for a group photo, please?
No.